right? Now that goes against everything that you've been taught your whole life. Everything you've been taught your whole life. You've been taught that you think with your mind. But in the Quran, it talks about what the mind does. Think about some of the things the Quran says about the mind. Jesus said, let us forget the body. He said, let us forget the flesh and go with mind. And go with mind. So therefore, he is identifying that the mind is a vehicle that we could use to transcend boundaries, that we could use to transcend time and space. So when the Prophet Muhammad, he talked about going from Mecca to Jerusalem and back to Mecca in one night, the night's journey. How did he travel? He said he traveled on an animal called Barak, and this animal in one stride, he moves as far as his eyes could see at the speed of thought. At the speed of thought, he was traveling with the mind. You understand what I'm saying? What else did he say about the mind? He said, these tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind. So he's telling us that there is a workshop in the mind. And he's saying where we build up thought. He said where things are made of thought and where we build up character. Now he's telling us what we're supposed to be doing in the workshop, but that's not what you have to do because your mind is yours. You can change it when you want to.
Islam. Paradigm Shifters Podcast, the Sheik Maurice Pennington Bay, the master student with the Sheik clans Prather ill. Islam. Sheik, how you doing, Sheik?
I'm doing simply wonderful, Mo. Praising Almighty God, Allah. Looking forward to being on your show. Thankful to Allah for being on your show, Mo. That's how I'm doing, Mo.
Yes, praise Allah. Okay, so this is part 2. The MST of A is not Masonic. Oh, I butchered that title. I'm looking at the title up there. Right? How you see I spell? I Mo. It's been a long day, Mo. We did a lot of work today.
Well, Mo, you're gonna get blessed for it, Mo. All the work that you do, Mo. That's when we're most happiest, man. I know it's when I'm most happiest. It's when I work.
That's right. I'm with you on that. Okay, so I was kind of surprised when we did the first episode of this podcast, because when I posted the flyer for it, you know, there was a lot of comments. A lot of Moors had questions. A lot of Moors had their own opinions, and a lot of Moors stated that they couldn't wait to hear what we had to say in relation to the subject. And a lot of those brothers and sisters didn't. Well, a lot of those brothers, all right, they didn't show up with their questions, Sheik. But I still have the questions on the actual post. So
that's good.
What I'm gonna do is I'm fixing to get ready to pull. I'm gonna share my screen so we can look at it. Oh, okay. So here's the flyer right here. The MST of A is not Masonic. All right. So I put that X right there. I put that X. This I ain't gang banging, y'all. So I put that X right there because, like, if this was a test and one was asked the question that if the MST of A is Masonic, and if they were to say yes, then that would be an X because that would be wrong. So that's why that X is there. It's not, I'm not gang banging. Okay. So this brother right here, Peace to Moore. He says we are born Mason, Moabite, Canaanite, no groups or organizations to join, nationality and birthrights. We are born Mason, Moabite, Canaanite, no groups or organizations to join, nationality and birthrights. What you think about that shit?
Well, Mo, first I'm going to praise Almighty God, Allah, give him the thanksgiving for the air I breathe, the health, and the Moorish blood running warm in my veins. I'm going to send on to his illustrious and divine prophet, a free man. That was not, he himself was not born what he is, what we are today. He had to come into the knowledge of it, just to show the demonstration, the possibilities of man, that we are not those derogatory names. That's the reason why he came. And that's Noble Drew Ali. I sent on to the anti-slavery society of the Moorish Science Temple of America, anti-slavery in all its forms and all its limitations. And I want to go on to stand on to Mo. Mo, can I possibly put a little shout out?
Islam.
Well, Mo, I want to put a little shout out for August the 30th, Ancient Forefathers Day, that we celebrate, that we've been celebrating since 1978. And it's August the 30th here in Baltimore. All the various temples all over celebrated, but it's August the 30th.
Islam.
Where we honor our fathers. And none of my fathers, not one of my fathers, all the way back to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, had anything, no tie, no connection, no affiliation with any Masonic order, be it Freemasons or otherwise. Because number one, it is an European Anglo-Saxon institution. And I was not born Mason. I don't think anybody was born Mason. Mason is not a nationality. It's not even an identity. And we all had to, the term Masons as we know it today is an order. You know, they're taking it beyond just being a builder of rocks. They're taking it and made it an order. And none of us were born that. We had to come into Allah's blessings. So I think I was commenting on that, brothers, on that comment when I talked with you earlier. Do you see it on there where I made a comment?
Islam, yes.
Can you read it for me, Mo?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it back up there so they can see it. Okay, so right here, you say, peace to Moor. No one was born a Mason. Many were not born a Moor, nor a Moorbite. But were born of a people that claim the superstitions, identity, etc. of any other people they went among.
See, we go amongst everybody else, you know, because we're in their land, we're foreigners in their land, and we go amongst them trying to identify with them. But in identifying with them, Masons, we're not that. You know, you were not born a Mason. We cannot be a Mason. You know, we are a Mason is a European Anglo-Saxon institution. It was founded by European. It was founded by the church and Christianity for their salvation, for their earthly salvation. And with that, I like to base everything that I'm going to say on the Holy Quran and the Divine Constitution and bylaws, if that's okay with you, Sheik.
Yes, Sheik.
And we're taking all the questions and answers that we have time for. And the holy aspect of what I want to demonstrate is coming from chapter 15 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it reads, chapter 15 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is our holy book. This is our holy scripture. This is our holy writing. This is our faith, our belief, our hope, our love, our truth, our peace, our freedom, and our justice. The Holy Quran. And it reads, chapter 15, Divine Ministry of Jesus. Jesus goes to the wilderness for self-examination, where he remains for 40 days. Is subject to 3 temptations. He overcomes, returns to the camps of John, and begin teaching. Verse 1. It said, the harbinger had paved the way. He had been introduced to men as love made manifest, and he must now begin his divine ministry. And he went forth into the wilderness to be alone with Allah, that he might look into his inner heart and know the strength and his worthiness. Now listen to me very carefully, please. And with himself he talked. He said, my Lord self is strong, but many times I'm bound down to carnal life. Look where he's at now. He's in the wilderness. Have I the strength to overcome and give my life a willing sacrifice for men? When I shall stand before the face of men and they demand a proof of my messiahship, what will I say? And then the tempter came. And then the tempter came and said, he challenged the man, he challenged him. If you be the Son of Allah, command these stones to turn to bread. Verse 7. And Jesus said, who is it that demands a test? It is no sign that one is a son of Allah because he does a miracle. Wow. The devil can do mighty things. Verse 8. This is Jesus again. Did not the Gentile musicians do great things before the pharaohs? My words and deeds in all the walks of life. Where in all the walks of life, my words and deeds in all the walks of life shall be the proof of my messiahship. And then the tempter said, if you will go into Jerusalem and from the temple pinnacle, cast down yourself to earth, the people will believe you are the Messiah sent from Allah. This you surely can do. For did not David, your great-grandfather, say, he gives his angels charge concerning you, and with their hands will they uphold you, lest you should fall. Because we know that he came to David too. You read the record. This tempter came to David too. Underline. Verse 12. And Jesus said, I will not tempt the Lord my God Allah. And then the tempter said, look forth upon the world. Behold its honor and its fame. Behold its pleasures and its wealth. Remember now, the man is in the wilderness. If you give your life, these shall be yours. But Jesus said, away from me all tempting thoughts. My heart is fixed. I spurn his carnal self with his vain ambition and his pride. And for 40 days did Jesus wrestle with his carnal self. His higher self prevailed. His higher self prevailed. He slayed that Goliath of the dark and set the Savior love upon the throne. His higher self prevailed. He then was hungry. But his friends had found him and they ministered to him. And Jesus left the wilderness in the consciousness of holy breath. He came into the camps of John and taught. Family, these are instructions. These are instructions for all of you that are coming to the Moorish Science Temple of America. These are instructions for you that have fixed your heart. You're not going to understand everything, but you got to know what this organization is all about. You got to know that Allah is love. He will not harm us or put us in harm. So Jesus came into the camps of John and he taught. I'm in chapter 48, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecy. I'm talking about you and I. 2,000 years ago, bringing this message up to today. Verse 6, he went into the camps of John and taught. And the first lesson he taught is that we as a clean and pure nation descendant of the inhabitants of Africa do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Somebody wants somebody to be redeemed. You can see so clearly why he would offer you all this wealth, all this pleasure. You can see why he would challenge you. You can even see why he would question you, because you are the redeemer of the earth for the salvation of men. This goes on in verse 7. It says, therefore we are returning. Now listen at this. This is John 2,000 years ago, and you might even want to look at those letters supposedly read to a church that hadn't even been established yet. But Jesus knew the forthcoming of the people. He knew the heart's idolatry, worship, the superstitious people. And he said, therefore we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nation, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. While we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation.
Islam.
He went on to say the covenant. And you know, there are many covenants. Every time Jesus, Allah would choose a people, he would say, look here, people, I've chosen you. But if you will walk before me, if you would obey these statutes, these laws, I will be your God and you will be my people. And this land that is desolate shall become like the Garden of Eden. I will make this covenant with you. And the covenant is honor thy father and thy mother, that their days may be long upon the earth land which the Lord thy God Allah have given thee. Now, before I read the divine laws, I just have to point out that every August of every year since 1978 that I know of, we have honored our forefathers, honored our fathers, honored the fathers that had led us back to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who led us back to Allah. For we had none before this man come. We're going to honor our fathers and our mothers, that our days may be long upon the earth land. And again, near one of my brothers, I'm Sheik, Clarence, Prather, and not near one of my fathers was ever affiliated, nor were they in any Masonic order. Had they been, rest assured I would be today. From William Rice Bay, Timothy Dingle, John Gibbons Hill, Millie Hill, back to the Prophet, and our current masters that I'm set at the feet of, Anderson Hill. These people are not Masonic. They didn't teach Masonic, but they retrieved, they resurrected the degrees that you carried into those Masonic halls. You have our ill and bay, as if the angel gave you ill or bay. And you say that you are a Moor, when in actuality, you're being a slave to sin.
Islam, Sheik.
Go ahead, Sheik.
So you demonstrate, you said that it was our people who carried these degrees into the lodge. Now, for me, explain that to the people.
What was the question again? Say it again, Mo.
I say, explain that to the people. Explain exactly what you mean when you say that the Moors retrieved what our people had taken into the lodge.
Mo, the record reflects that with lo and behold, when the world is ready to receive, Allah will send a messenger to copy from all the sacred messages of purity and love, that the world may hear the language of hear the Lord in the language of in their language, and they will walk in the light and be the light. And this is what our forefathers have done. They have nothing is lost. They have substituted. They have you, our people, confused about so many things. So many things they have us confused about. And as a result, us being confused about it, somebody, Allah had to clothe in the right mind and say, go down there in the valley of the dry bones, go down there and walk amongst the dead and retrieve these treasures that our forefathers have buried in the sands. I think it's in the chapter Gratitude. Our fathers, many of them, took these lessons and buried them in the sand and haven't produced anything but you and I being confused about what it is that the Moorish Science Temple is all about. And it took a miner, it took someone that could walk, that could get on that camel, get on that desert and traverse that desert and see the conditions, see what's there, and dig it up and bring it back to you. These were the masters, because the record said it is the work of masterminds to restore. It is the work of, it is our job to resurrect. It is our job to redeem. It is our job to retrieve all that our fathers fell asleep with and somebody else took. That's what I mean by retrieving, Mo. They are masters. You, the blessings of Allah. Allah is going to give you, he gives us all a blessing whereby we can go and make a contribution to the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it's not anything new. It's the same old time religion, just in a new form, just being executed by somebody that knows how to execute it. This is what our fathers had to do. This is what you have to do. This is what I have to do, to retrieve, because it's by the works, words, and deeds of our Father, God Almighty Allah, that we're going to come out of this condition. It's not by the words of Sheik, Clarence, Prather. It's not by the word of any great master that we love and love to hear. It's by the words, the works, and deeds of the Prophet Noble Drali that we're going to survive this stuff. His work. And so his works is what have to be retrieved. It's his works that would have to be resurrected. It's his teaching that we must hear, that's going to heal us to the point that we can come and be who we say that we are. That's what I mean by retrieve, Mo.
Islam. Islam. Okay, see.
And we're out there. Allah has given each one of us a blessing, one of his treasures, to do this job. Make no mistake about it. Some of you are late, some of us are early, but we're all here, and one day the contribution is going to be made. I mean, we have all kinds of stories in the Quran where we retrieving this life, getting things back. You got the story of the miner, you got the story of gratitude, all the stuff that's in the sand. We got all kind of stories in the Quran to tell us how we're going to get this stuff at. Not only that, but tell us even where it's at.
From the secrets of Allah, let man learn this. Go to the wilderness.
Go to the desert, Master. That's right, Mo. And that's where we're going to have to go, because that's where a lot of our truth is. And we're going to go by the hedges and the highways, because that's where they are, sitting there doing their thing. I'm talking about the various honorable institutions that are out there. They're setting it on the highways and the byways. And they think that we are scared of them. We think they're not scared. They're thinking that we are afraid. But we're not afraid by no means. We know what the book of Revelation said that you were going to do. We know that the book of Revelation said that you're going to conquer us. We know that. But it also said that we were going to come back to life. And you conquered us from 1929 up until 1978, but we're coming back to life. Those that were dead shall live again. Those that are alive will never die. So we're here to retrieve Allah's gold. Just as you took the golden temple, golden works out of King Solomon's temple, you had to bring them back because you couldn't do anything with them. All you could do with them was get drunk and run people and boast and brag and be vain and dance. But you couldn't do anything to save humanity because those degrees are not for saving humanity. They have never been for saving humanity. They have been for their salvation. It's been for them saving who is a part of them. And that's what you all are doing today. But for humanity on the whole, you have never been. You made too many pledges. You made too many vows, took too many oaths to return us back to that condition. So that's evidence that you are not for uplifting people. You're not an uplifting organization. Amongst your own, yes, because you don't know, because you're so far in it that you don't think you can get out of it. But in 1928, Prophet Noble Drew Ali had 10,000 around him. And every one of them had a master problem on them, a master psychological problem. But if you're in the first convention, they were honoring this man as Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. They voiced it, they said it. Some of them, half of the convention minutes you don't read, but they still left some out there. Still some out there that tells you how they were in these various orders because they were. And the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came and set them free.
So just like the Prophet Jesus, he went into the prison and set the captives free, Mo.
That's what, and who did he see in there? Sages, prophets, wise men, all of these people you have locked up. Like I just said a few minutes ago, you imprisoned us, you killed us, you jailed, you did all kinds of things to us. To the wise men, prisons, prophets. But we're back. And we know the possibilities of man. We know that man cannot die. We know that if we trust in Allah, that we can do all, their possibilities are great. Mac, they're great. The possibilities are, John the Baptist put down that we can disappear. Jesus walked on water.
Elijah, see.
Say it again.
The works of Elijah, see. I mean, Elijah.
Yes,
man.
Mo. Yes, Mo.
That Mo says to Allah, he says the people are crazy. They killed all your prophets and they even seeking to kill me. Allah told him, when he kept telling Allah, he said they killed all your prophets. Allah told him, then make more. He said the kings was corrupt. Allah told him, then make more.
Mo.
I've never, since I've been a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I have never looked at Masonic orders or anything Masonic and said that the Moorish Science Temple of America resembled that. From I came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, under Moors who taught us better. We knew that what we were seeing was people who was wearing our clothes. But if you take our clothes up off of these people, then they are who they are, even with the clothes on. It's just colored, see.
So
colored
you're telling me, Sheik, that you listened to John the Baptist when he said that we are a clean and pure nation. That's all you're telling me, Mo. Is that you sat there and listened to him attentively. You paid attention to what he said about who it is that you are. And you return back.
See, the Quran said that attention is the pilot that must conduct thee into her port. And I feel that this is the major issue. All right. Too many of us don't pay attention. We don't pay attention, Sheik. And I read that. I read in that chapter where it teaches us that knowledge is insufficient, that we must pay attention.
Well, whether they pay attention or not, Mo, I'm the attention, Mo. You are the attention. You are the attention. When a person breaks thought, when their mind skip time in your presence, you are to reestablish their attention. This is why we don't have time. This is why the prophet say promptly, because we know he knows that his job is a lot longer than 1 or 2 hours. When I'm in the presence of people, you in the presence of people, Mo, you're going to keep their attention. And when they break off, you're going to see it and you're going to respond to it, especially if Allah is calling that person. If Allah is calling that person for his mercy, that person is going to keep their attention, is going to stay on you all the time that you are there. I've seen it done so many times. But if they're not, then that's another story. But Allah is calling people. And some people don't have the attention because Allah is not ready for them. He's calling them, but how to say, many called, few are chosen, and even few answer the call. The real call, the inward call, the call that when he was in the wilderness, the call of himself. So, you are the attention sheep. You are the higher self, man. You are the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life, and you appeal to people. And Marcus Garvey is a great example of that appealing to people, Mo. I can't give enough honor to this man. He appealed to the hearts and the minds of the people that couldn't read, write, didn't know enough about hygiene. Sister Pearl Durrell used to say, venereal was rampant in our community because we didn't have doctors to go to if we doing too many things, So when the prophet came with his O's and T's and compound, he made a difference. And this is why he was so strong in 1920, because they saw Allah had gathered the people unto him. They saw that he was the attention that they need to pay to. And this is saying,
you hear what you're saying, Sheik? I mean,
tell me, Sheik.
I know, do the people hear what you're saying? You said to me, all right, you say, Sheik, you are the attention. You said, Sheik, when they slip and they're not paying attention, then you bring them back. That's not Masonic talk.
Wow.
That's not Masonic talk. Masonic talk say if they don't know, then they don't know.
Okay.
That's not Masonic talk. What you talking?
Well, I pray my talk is uplifting fallen humanity talk, Mo. Because that's my whole purpose.
What did the Grand Sheik Timothy Dingle said? He said you got to get close to them, and you got to hear them talk.
Wow.
He said they're not gonna be talking that Negro talk. They're not gonna be talking that Negro talk. They're not gonna be talking that crab in the bucket talk, Sheik.
Wow. That's right, Mo.
They're gonna be talking that save humanity talk, Sheik.
That's right, Mo.
That's how you know the difference.
That's right, Mo. Well, it is an Anglo-Saxon institution, Mo. It was found, George Washington is the father of the Masons in America. He had a nationality, but he exchanged, I'm talking a little science now, Mo, he exchanged the scepter for the trowel. And as a result of doing that, he lost his nationality. But so he had to establish something. And this is why he became the father of the Masons here in America. And all of our people that follow him as an example, were are still unconscious today. about who they are. And they will fight you, argue with you about who they are. They would rather be a king on Rome's throne than have be free and have salvation in the lawfully chartered organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But they're going to come, Sheik. Let me just say that as well. Let me say they are going to come. All of those that are claim to be all that York writing, that Scottish writing, that alone is European. You don't see them about, they got this stuff out there now, the Orientals and the African. I think they set up Prince Hall up with an African lodge or something, back in his time, but all of them Asiatics, well, because European gonna let them know. He's forcing upon them now. He's letting them know that they ain't gonna have no place to go. Jesus said they say that they have everything that they need, but Jesus of Nazareth in the book of Revelation said that they are poor, wretched, blind, naked, and welch, have nothing more. And they're going to find out. They find it out every day. Because can you imagine having all the money that these people have and they have no soul? And this is what our people are going through today. Money can't free them. Money is not freeing them, but they got so much of it. And it's not, they're gonna come, Mo. They're gonna come.
The Master Jesus said, he said that it'll be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Ain't that something, Mo?
Yes, that's deep, Sheik, because heaven is a state of mind. So if you telling me that it'll be easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than for me to discover the truth about myself, that's a dangerous ordeal, Mo. I'm afraid of that. I'm scared to death. You can have everything. If all I gotta do is sell everything I own and follow you, it's sold.
And you know what makes it so easy for that camel?
What makes it easy?
That Moor that's riding him, Mo.
Islam.
That Moor.
Pilot.
That's riding him, man. That makes it no matter what the situation, condition, he will get down on them floor and inch his way through that needle hole. Because his master instructs him to. You are his master, Mo. That's the science that we're talking about in the Moorish Science Temple of America, Mo. And we've got plenty more of it, just like it.
Hold on. Hey, so look, let me pull this demonstration up again, because I have a feeling that these brothers are
Can you
watching.
talk a little louder, please, Sheik?
I said I have a feeling that these brothers are watching. They might not want to say nothing, but I have a feeling that they watching, and that's okay. Islam, that's okay. So, this was a question that because I noticed more Tyree Wilson Bay.
Ty Wilson Bay.
Tyree Wilson Bay. He's actually from here in Peoria. He's not here in Peoria right now, but the brother is actually from here in Peoria. He has a brother that's still here. His name is Aban Bay, and they had something like a Moorish Science Temple of America here. Something that resembled it, it looked like the Moorish Science Temple of America to people who didn't know it. But Tyree Wilson Bay is a great young Moor. And he said to me, he said, Maurice Pennington Bay, Islam, dear brother, do we have a problem with Masonic organizations? Asking sincerely. Because a lot of times I hear people putting a negative thought out when mentioning Masons or Masonic organizations. But based on a Moorish Guide article I seen, I don't believe the prophet felt the way that some Moors feel today. And I really thank him for that particular question. And he recognized something about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Like the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he didn't, you know, we don't have nothing recorded that said that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali spoke bad about anybody or spoke down about it. It just wasn't him. So the more on is make sure that, you know, that the message is being demonstrated in love. And so my response to him was, Tyree Wilson Bate, no, we do not. The issue is that some misconstrue us for a Masonic organization, and I know that you know that we are not that. How can we be ourselves when ones propagate the idea that we are being someone else? No, brother, we do not have an issue with them. They are an organized group. I want to show you something. I've heard and seen Moors who are teaching Sunday school demonstrate that chapter 5 validates a Masonic association, but I have studied both and see no relation. And it's simply because I use common sense. Carpentry and masonry are not the same. A carpenter's work is different, and I do not claim that either is superior to the other. I only plan to show that we are not Masonic. Again, Asiatics should see themselves when they look at those orders and not the other way around. That's the way I responded to him.
Well, can I respond to her?
Islam, please, Sheik.
Well, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, it's time for every man to worship under his own nationality and religion. I understood when I didn't have the knowledge of Moorish science how I could possibly have gone into one of those orders, because they were affording our people jobs and homes and social life. They could come in. I could see them coming before. But when you come into such a great light as the Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, you're coming into a greater knowledge, not so much about Masonry, but the knowledge of who it is that you are. Before, I see the young Moors today, and they gravitate to all these other organizations, but when they get to Moorish science, they realize the light is a lot greater. And as a result, they come on into the light, and they strive to live the life. They try to bring those lessons with them, but as they continue to stay in the Moorish Science Temple of America, they will see that the light is greater. And no, we honor all fathers more. You read next week, you will hear on Ancient Forefathers Day, you will hear Timothy DeLeo in the Resurrection book speaks about everybody coming out on this day, bringing their colors. Now, we're not expecting the Asiatic to come out with the fez on because he don't have the authority to wear it out, but we're expecting everybody to come out with their colors. And if they come out with their colors, they will be honored as well as respected. No, we're not at odds with Masonic order, but the Masonic order founded by George Washington is not your order. It is the order of an Anglo-Saxon European. It's not your institution. It wasn't founded by your forefathers. It doesn't have your interests at heart. It does now because they're trying to keep our people down. Like I said earlier, you know, they take vows. They take vows to return us back to slavery. You know, all we got to do is just, like somebody, I heard you mention common sense. All we got to do is use our common sense and see how these people are working. See the comments about them. Not from me, but from their own, from people that have been a part of it, that know that is not right. They know, but because they have taken these vows, they have taken these oaths, and they don't think that they can get out of it, and they don't want to come into Moorish science because Moorish science does not allow you to rip and run. It does not allow you to abuse women, to drink, eat all that old poison, because we are trying to clean up ourselves. And if you come in and don't make that effort, then you're only going to hold back your salvation. But no, we're not at odds with anyone. I'm not at odds with any of those people. I've gone to their weddings. I've gone to their funerals. And man, I could tell you something about, I could tell you a lot about them, a lot about them. But I'm not, have no affiliation with them, none whatsoever. And you shouldn't either, because it's not your institution. It was founded by Europeans, Anglo-Saxon Europeans. Before this country was a country, they were propagating that order, trying to establish that order. I think it goes back to 1717, 34, 1666, somewhere along in there. But it's not yours, my brothers and sisters. It's not yours. And the sisters are so wrong. The women are so wrong for wearing this, for wearing the fez, because they don't know what it is that they're wearing. They're demonstrating an abomination and don't realize it. To put on the fez and then can't do anything with it. You go into their home, they got to go under the bed, closet, up in the attic, in the crack. They got to hide this light. They can't let nobody see it. And they our people. I'm talking about our people. And all of them are in there, all of them. Douglas Wilder, governor of Virginia, was there. All of them. Right down the street from Martin Luther King's burial, right down the street from his house, is his Masonic order that he was in, and did nothing for our people. Nothing. Yes, I said it, nothing. All he got out to deal was a couple of statues and a great burial, but our people are still in the same condition. Every city you go into, you can go up in Massachusetts. I think it's Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's Boston. You go down Martin Luther King Avenue. You got the Masonic building on Martin Luther King in Boston, Massachusetts. And it looked like worse than some of these homes. Well, not today because I haven't been up in a couple of years, but that same Masonic building. So the people in it don't have the spirit to upkeep their own place. Boston, Massachusetts, Prince Hall building. We went into New Jersey, up in New Jersey. Had a demonstration in New Jersey at Prince Hall Masonic. Got a great big old picture of him on the wall. I mean, and the people, the situation outside, the building itself, I was ashamed to even go in it. I went in it just to be at peace with myself and those that I wanted. Came all the way up to New Jersey, brought my family, friends. As a matter of fact, you see a picture on Facebook of me up there. I mean, I went in and just to be at peace. Went right down the street on Warren Street where the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was. He had his meeting there when he was in New Jersey. But these people don't have no respect for this stuff. They have no respect. Other than the benefits that they have no respect for. It makes them something amongst their own. And that's what they're vanity. But they don't have no real respect for it. And brother, we're not. I'm going to tell the truth about it. You ask me about it, I'm going to tell my portion of the truth, and we can dialogue, we can have debate, we can even have controversy. I'm all for that. This is how we get the truth. This is how we get to know. I accept all of those types of challenges, all of them, because I know.
We got a new comment right here. So this is from Robert McDuffie, and he says he's demonstrating to a more Namir Wahid Bey. He said, "I come in peace and truth. Noble Drew Ali got his teaching from a Mason and then a Shriner. He gave BLK at that time an identity. Like I said, y'all are not Masons, but y'all have the same lessons and teaching as the Masons." So then he posted this, and this says, "Was Noble Drew Ali a Mason?" He asked the AI. So he went to the European Grand Sheik. His European Grand Sheik says, yes, Noble Drew Ali was a Freemason. He was also familiar with the ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Noble's Mystic Shrine, the auxiliary group of Shriners with ties to Freemasonry, according to Richard Lawson Singley on Medium. He incorporated Masonic teachings into his own organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America. according to Arthur House. Specifically, Noble Drew Ali was a high-degree Freemason and drew inspiration from the AMS, ancient Egyptian Arabic order, Noble's mystic shrine, when forming the Moorish Science Temple of America's organization, while pseudo-Islamic Arabic in nature.
Okay. Maurice, none of it is true. Everything that you just said is not true. Noble Drew Ali, this is what Noble Drew Ali himself said, not what somebody else said, but what Noble Drew Ali said. He said on the front of this Quran, the Moorish Holy Temple is signed, divinely prepared by the great God Allah.
That's right.
He didn't go to no man. He didn't come from the rich or the poor nor the elite. Those are the people that sabotaged him in 1928-29.
So,
This is where Noble Drew Ali come from. And the teaching has come from Allah. It says it on his record. So none of that's true, my brother. None of that's true. That's all of that established later on. And because we're in these orders, but no. Because you all are in these orders, you want to defend them and uphold them, and I understand that. But Noble Drew Ali by no means had anything to do with Masonry. These are the people that tried to sabotage him as well as his movement in 1928. And I know it to be true because when I came through in 1987, 89, I had to go through pretty much the same thing with you brothers, because you wanted what it was that you thought I had. And you tried to, and you came at me, you kept nicely, the whole 9 yards. You came at real nice, real smooth. But I know, and I walked away from you, you know. And as a matter of fact, we just buried a brother not too long ago that was party to that. You know, not too, maybe 2 or 3 months now. So no, Noble Drew Ali was none of that, my brother, none of that at all. And if you want to know about the teachers of Noble Drew Ali, come and sit with somebody that knows. Just like you can defend those orders that you just mentioned and tell me all about them, come and sit with somebody that can defend and tell you about Noble Drew Ali from the truth, not what we are writing in the book, not what the devil is writing about Noble Drew Ali, not what the anti-Noble Drew Ali, anti-Moorish Science Temple, anti-Moor people are writing about Noble Drew Ali, but come and sit with people that know, that have said, and what the Sheik said earlier about paying attention, paid attention, that were carried backwards through the ages, that were carried in the mind back to set in the times that Noble Drew Ali was here, and learn what it is that we know. Don't have to doubt, don't have to assume what we know about Noble Drew Ali. And because we can't explain it to you, because your ears are closed, all because you love what you are in, which is fine. Everybody defends what they have until they get something better, until they get what's better. Then it's a different story. And I understand that. But no, my brothers, no. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder, born in the state of North Carolina, 1886, he's not a Mason. You might have somebody out there claiming to be Noble Drew Ali, but the one that was born in 1886, January the 8th, no, he had nothing to do, no affiliation with Masonry. None of his records, none of them. And I think, I haven't seen them all, I can tell that lie, but I've seen a great many of them. I've seen people, I've talked with Sister Christina Price Bay, I've talked with Mother Pearl Drew Ali, I've talked with these beautiful people. I've talked with the Cook Bays, I've talked with all of these people, and none of them, no matter who was, he wasn't. And basically when he left the scene in 1929, you know, a lot of them went back to where they come from, because they didn't know no place else to go. And they didn't have the strength to stand up under not being Negro, black, and colored. But no, my brother, Noble Drew Ali was not.
You know something, Sheik?
Go ahead.
I want the people to think about something. I want the people to think about when we insist that the Moorish Science Temple of America, which was founded for our earthly and divine salvation by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Now, when we insist that what we was given for our salvation came from a European thought, that it is something that came out of the lodge. What do we really think about ourselves?
Wow.
When the Prophet Noble Ali hands us the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, he got a whole lot of degrees on the cover. But when we open it up and he says, know thyself and thy Father God Allah, what do we think that that means when we insist that this, what we have been given, came from somebody else, the same people who enslaved us, the same people who, like that movie, want to trade places. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
This the same people. Why in the world? Why in the world do we insist upon being inferior? See, like I do not understand.
But let me try to explain, Sheik. Those that are in the Moorish Science Temple of America and they slip off whatever nights and put on their little fez with the little emblems on it and put on their little Mason, they simply have not been taught, Mo. Those that are in the Moorish Science Temple of America have not been taught Moorish science. They are still thinking that it's a greater light outside of Moorish science, as opposed to coming to somebody that knows Moorish science. So all of you, brothers, not one or two of you, all of you that put on that, got those Masonic credentials in your pocket and attend those meetings, you're just not learning. Your Moorish master, your Grand Sheik, it hasn't taught you more. Hasn't taught you what you need to know about Moorish science. He hasn't given you the instructions that's in this book right here that's far greater than any degree that you possibly can get out of their order. And then again, they talk about in their order, I think they talk about, they got the 5-pointed star for the sister. They got I guess they do learn something in there. They learn about Ruth, Mary,
Ruth, Mary,
Esther. Yeah, they learn about King Solomon. They learn about King Solomon. They learn about the temple. And if this is true, if they learn about King Solomon in the temple, then they know that all those degrees that King Solomon demonstrated were not Masonic. Hiram Abiff is a myth. Hiram Abiff is a myth. He's not a real person. He's not a real person. Allah told King Solomon to build his temple. And in King Solomon built his temple, Allah said, well, I will send you the people. I will send you the king I'll send you a nation of people that are good in building things. I will send you that's good in craftsmanship. I will send you a people, different people to survey the land. He sent, and they were not Masons. The record reflects who they were. And they built a temple. They built a temple. And not only that, but everything that they have, everything that their brothers and sisters have is either stolen, borrowed, or a substitute. And when they come into the Moorish Science Temple of America and hang around for a little while and learn something and learn what was stolen and what the substitute was and what the actual word is, they go back out. And next thing you know, you find them, they find themselves in some type of trouble. Because the prophet tells you what can do harm, what can do good, can also do harm. And this is what they find themselves in. It's either deteriorates their health, their status, something starts to deteriorate. Because this light is far too fine, far too great to take it out in the world. And you can only bear this great light through a purity of heart, purity of mind, purity of purpose. And this is what John the Baptist said when he came into the camp of John and taught, we as a pure and clean nation. That means that we are able to hold this light, but you can't come in and steal it and think you got something, because you're only going to find yourself drinking. You're drinking beer today, tomorrow you be drinking wine, next day you be drinking that rock gut, and next thing you know, your body be in trouble. This is what happened to the people, you know. So no, brother, you know, come out of that, come out of that, come out of those orders, come into the Moorish Science Temple of America and learn. Come into the Moorish, go to somebody that know and learn the truth about Moorish science, and you will see that the light far exceeds anything that you possibly can learn in any of those orders, any of them, any of them. That's and I'm talking to the brothers and sisters that I know that are in these. I'm talking to Moors that are probably in these orders. You don't need to be in them. You don't need to be in them. Come on out. Come on back to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because I think somewhere in the record reflect, it says that he's going to unite the Moorish Science Temple of America. And in the Moorish Science Temple of America are going to be Moorish Americans. Moorish Americans. Not Moorish niggas, Black Americans, Black Moors, but Moorish Americans. Come on out, brothers and sisters. You got a great life. I mean, I'm just a mere man, you know, and this Sheik here is just a mere man, but they do have some great light that possibly you can, that help you to see. Coming out those orders, Mo. You don't need to be in them. Come and learn more science. Peace. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay, so this was an interesting one right here. This was from the Sheik Talik Il. Talik Il said.
Sheik who, Mo?
Talik Il.
Okay, go ahead.
Talik Il. Talik Il says, it's not, but certain elders brought those ways into their demonstrations. Now, what I get from that, right? He says, and because I seen it when I first came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, and a lot of not a lot, but a few of the elders who were in the temple, you know, they would demonstrate and talk, you know, this Masonic, you know, message. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that they instead of being themselves, right? Instead of being themselves, being what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, he began to uplift us by teaching us to be ourselves. That's the beginning. All right. So we got to get that part right. We got to start trying to be ourselves. Instead of them doing that, though, Mo, you know, I think they want to impress, you know, younger Moors like myself and other people. So they would pretend, or they would do this play thing, you know, like, you know, they do something, you know, they demonstrating this Masonic stuff, Mo. And I can still see it, Mo. I mean, I heard it, Mo. I heard it, Mo. I heard it with my own ears, Mo, since I've been out here. You know, Moors who are officers in they temples where they at, you know, Sheiks and Grand Sheiks, Mo, and they demonstrate that they, you know, that they Masons and that this is a Masonic order. And I just be saying to myself, like how we gonna save ourselves if we don't recognize ourselves, if we don't acknowledge, you know, that the Savior self is self.
Sheik, I'm gonna tell you, Mo, my heart goes out to our young people today, Mo. My heart truly goes out to them because they don't have good shepherds that's teaching them, man. They see these books and they in the institutions and they go to various meetings and they somehow know they come into the knowledge of Noble Drew Ali, and then they can't find a good shepherd to teach them, one without that won't shear them or won't feed off of them. And as a result, they have to go where they can get to stay alive with the learning that they're learning. You know, they come into the Moorish science, and instead of us teaching them, you know, there's something else going on. You know, and as a result, we turn them back out into the world. And next thing you know, they in one of those fraternities, and then that next thing you know, they want to get out. After a while, they be wanting to get out. And my heart goes out to them, man. This is why I appeal to the older ones, come out that stuff, man. Leave Masonic, Freemasonry, Prince of, leave that institution alone. Those honorable institutions for the Europeans, leave them alone. Come on in, Moorish Science, and I'll guarantee you can learn the lessons, you can get a greater light, the great light of Islam, the great light of Moorish Science. The prophecy and the warning, when he shined the light, miraculous light, the illuminating light, a greater light to help you find your way, help you see your way. Come on out this order. And you young people, the Sheik, in the first beginning of the meeting, he said, paying attention. He talked about paying attention. Pay attention, be patient. We didn't stay in school. We got tired of listening. Something was disagreeable and we got impatient because somebody hurt our feelings. Well, I've gone to many meetings where people said, I'm sitting right there, and they say things that are off color towards me, about me, and etc. But I don't leave. I stand there and I sit there and I learn. And I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Even you on this meeting, I'm saying a lot of things, and I'm asking you to be patient. Go check them out. Come check me out. Come check the Sheik out and see, can we get another side to this? Because you got to come out those orders. European don't want you in there. Do you recall when you couldn't go into your Masonic orders? They had to separate you. You had nothing to do. They gave you all the semblance of, look at all the movies. I don't usually resort to movies, but I will at this time. Look at the movie, honey, I'm on it. Look at the movie, Rosewood. When the movie first come on, first thing they show us, they don't show us a school. They show us a church with Masonic emblems up on the wall. I haven't seen the movie in a good little while. But when the European Mason got in trouble, who paid for it? The Asiatic one. This is what they do. That brother was a sacrifice. A sacrifice. And they all took part in the sacrifice. And a number of people became sacrificed. Look at all the things that these people are doing in these orders. Look at it, and see, can't you can't you get another idea? Because we're teaching, we're trying to uplift our people under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We may fall short every once in a while, but you're there to help us to go straight. But come out this order. That's my appeal, Sheik. Appeal to come out of those orders. Because Noble Drew Ali was ordained. Noble Drew Ali was ordained that you would not have those marks on you. He was ordained by the great God Allah. It was Allah that raised him. It was Allah that brought him into the world. It was Allah that fortified him with principles, that he became the last prophet. And we know that because he did the work of the prophet. If he was in one of those orders, we wouldn't know that we're Moorish American. We'd do like Frederick Douglass said. He would say we were Ethiopian. He tried to get the order established that we were Ethiopian. But Noble Drew Ali said that we're not. He carried us all the way back to us being who we are, all the way back to biblical time, before Moab. He carried us, he talks about us all the way back when we were Emins, Moabs, Moors, and now we're Moorish American. That's what we're talking about, because there's no black land, color land. So he had to come with a Pacific land. And only Allah can provide him with that type of information, that type of knowledge to help us. So he wasn't doing about
you remind when you brought up that movie, you made me think about a book I read years ago by the author Dan Brown, and the book is called The Lost Symbol, right? And in The Lost Symbol, it was about a family of Masons, and it was it was their family tradition that whenever their sons reached the age of 21, that they be given a opportunity to join the order of Freemasonry, or they would be given inheritance that they can go and do whatever they wanted to with, right? Well, it was an Asiatic. It was the worshipful master was the head of this family, but then it was the Asiatic who was like his right-hand man. All right. And the Asiatic had all the keys, Sheik. But look, the book says that he had all the keys. And I mean literally, he had a key to every door in Washington, D.C. Every door. It didn't matter if the door was in the basement. It didn't matter if it was in the sewer. It didn't matter where the door was. But he had keys to every door. Now, the first thing that jumped out to me, Sheik, was he had all the keys, but he didn't know not even a quarter of the doors that these keys could open.
Wow.
But he had all the keys.
Wow.
And man, listen, I urged everybody around me. I said, read this book. I say, if nothing else doesn't jump out to you, the fact that the Asiatic had all the keys and didn't know what doors the keys could open.
Well, I mean, it's so one. The Moorish Science is so beautiful, Mo, because you telling this story, man. I'm picking it apart. I'm applying all the science that to everything that you say, man, and this Moorish Science. So I mean, I'm thinking all the science as you tell the story, Mo. All the science.
I got this. Story, Mo. This was a post that I seen earlier today, and so it says Noble Drew Ali is often shown in Master Masonic stands, and when I look at this again, it's another one of those demonstrations that just make me say, man, I wish. I was talking to a brother earlier today when we was doing some work. We was out doing some charity work earlier today. I was talking to a brother, and he was having issues with a young lady, and I told him, I said, sometimes we got to spit on our hands like the prophet Jesus did. Nobody don't want no spit on their face, but we got to spit on our hands like the prophet Jesus did, so we can wipe the scales out of these people's eyes, especially the ones who we love. I said, and I wish that I had hands big enough to spit and wipe all these eyes, because it troubles me that we would say that Noble Drew Ali is often shown in the Master Masonic stands before we would say that George Washington is often shown and demonstrating what appears to be a degree that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali demonstrated. I mean, to me, I don't understand.
Well, let me tell you a story, Mo. For all those in Chicago, Illinois, I appreciate it if they would check this out and bring it back to our show, bring it back to the Sheik show one day. On State Street is the Marriott Hotel. They say that's the one that Oprah used to stay with back in some time ago when she comes to Chicago. It's on State Street. I know it's on State Street. And directly next door is a big old Masonic lodge.
Okay.
Now, I checked into the hotel, we're going to the convention, and when I get up to my room, I'm on the 32nd floor. So, I'm looking out over the window, all this beauty, and what do I see? But the Masonic building. But on the roof of the Masonic building is a dome. And on the dome is is a star and a crescent.
Mm.
Somebody in Chicago, go and check that out. It's in the Marriott. It's on State Street, the Marriott Hotel, right next to it. And I went down there the next morning. Boy, I was high as a kite. I went down there the next morning. I go in there. Nobody's there. I get to walk around the building. I'm hollering, hello, got my fez on and everything. I go into, I guess it's the center hall. And in the center hall is a great big old, every bit 30 by 30. 30 feet by 30 feet, if not bigger. And and you would look at this man and you would say that is a European noble Drew Ali.
Wow.
Any of you that's in Chicago, it's on State Street, right next to the Marriott Hotel on State Street, right next door to it.
Mm.
Go in there. And man, I came out, went back to the hotel to get my camera, and went back and couldn't get in. The doors were locked, and I tried the whole week, kept going back, couldn't get back in there to take a picture. But it's a large, huge picture of a European noble Drew Ali. I'll show y'all the picture that he's dressed in. You know, it blew my mind. And I told them more, but they didn't believe me. You know, they didn't believe me. They ain't noble Drew Ali. I said, okay. And I never got a chance to go back. But if any of you more that live there, please check it out. Whitewash noble Drew Ali.
Wow, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
It's on State Street. Masonic Hall. Man, I love you more with these being able to search. Marriott Hotel. And all this is evidence that they take our stuff, they take everything that we have and make it theirs. They don't have no problem whitewashing anything, man. Nothing. Have no problem whitewashing our people, whitewashing the truth.
Okay,
Marriott Hotel on State Street and right next door to it.
No, I can't find it.
Go check it out when you get a chance, please.
When I ride down to the city, I'm gonna slide right. Matter of fact, I'll be down there on the 30th.
Check it out.
Right. Yeah,
check it out.
Yeah, on the 30th, I'm gonna go
right next door to the Marriott Hotel. I got pictures of me being in the Marriott Hotel, but I don't have no pictures of me going over there because I got up in the morning and went just to go out for a walk, and I went over there, man, and nobody was there, Sheik. I went in the place like I was coming in my home, but I was calling as I went through it. Hello, is anybody here? I'm in this room, and I'm coming in the door, and man, I went into this big old hall. I guess maybe seating capacity, maybe 100, 200 people, and this great big old large picture, man, it just blew my mind. And it just stared out over everybody like a statue. Yeah, Mo. Somebody check that out. I told Jackson Bay about it, but he never got around to checking it out. I told him about it. He didn't believe it.
Oh man, Sheik. So I was watching you posted the video with you, the Sheik Jackson Bay, and Sheik A. Pleasant Bay. And I seen that video already, but it's short. The whole video is not online.
I look at the whole video.
No, Sheik, that ain't the whole video. That video, it cuts off. It's only like 15 minutes long. It cut off right while y'all still talking.
Now my copy, Mo.
Well, then you need to send me your copy.
My copy is all the way through. I mean, it's all the way. He didn't go into the preliminaries, because we got there late, and we had to set up. And then when we set up, we didn't have a whole lot of time. But yeah, Mo, I got the whole. I'll send you the whole thing, Mo.
Yeah, I need that whole video.
Man, we got 2 or 3 of them, man. 2 or 3 of them we did. That's just not the only one. Every time I went to Chicago, which is almost every year, he had me up here recording something, man.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. So you know something, Sheik, and it's like we talking about, the MST of A is not a Masonic order. That's the topic. But the Moorish Science Temple of America is everybody's trying to color it, bro. Everybody's trying to paint it, they're trying to stain it, they're trying to varnish it, they're trying to dye it. Everybody is trying to change the unchangeable, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is the truth and it doesn't change. But everybody is trying, to demonstrate they science and change something that can't be changed. I mean, how at what point did it sneak up on you, Sheik? Like, because I know it had to been, I mean, we know the record. So, they've been trying to change since the Prophet was here. But when did it all of a sudden start to just, people start popping up with the Moorish science this, the Moorish that, and all this other stuff? Tell me about that. Like, what did you think when you finally realized, like, whoa, what's going on?
Well, people try to change it because they don't know its true value. They try to dilute it, all because they don't know. And they want so badly to know, they're in a hurry to know, but they won't be patient enough to come to know. And Mo, I tell you, man, I just feel so strongly, man, that Allah called me, Mo. I have no doubt in my mind that he called me to this, because when I first got it, Mo, I've been rolling ever since. Every Friday and Sunday and every other meeting since the week of January 8th, 1968, I've been at this movement, man. I've been at my meetings Friday and Holy Day. I mean, I've gone through some changes, jobs and all of that, but nothing has stopped me from Moorish science. And this is because I have to talk about my father. I have to talk about Timothy Dingley. When you ask anything about me, what I'm doing, I have to make reference to him, Grand Sheik Timothy Dingley. It says in chapter 10 that we need no middleman. Well, this man held my hand, answered my questions, guided me. And I think the subject of magistrate and subject said, remove you from the solicitudes and the cares of the world. It was this man that did this, Mo. When he set me down and he told me, answered my questions, and when he read the countenance on my face when I came to the meetings, and this is what snagged me, Mo. This is what put the hook in me and kept me to this very day, Mo, because he was patient with me, man. And he used to tell me all the time, or tell us rather, if you don't understand something, put it in your pocket. Don't get confused about anything. If you don't understand, put it in your pocket. And that's what I used to do, Mo. Put things that I didn't understand, because I didn't. I truly didn't, man. But the more I read, the more Allah spoke to me. And as the Spirit, the still small voice spoke to me. And this is what kept me strong, Mo. And this is what's going to happen to a lot of you young Mo. When you get out there with somebody, they're going to take your hand and they're going to hold you. They're going to hold your hand until you become a man. And then there's going to come a time when you don't need no middleman. You're going to be responsible for your life, your works, and your deeds. But until then, a lot of our brothers, especially those Moors that are in the Masonic order, they need somebody to take their hand, because they definitely are going the wrong way, and the way is not of peace. And then when they do grow up in Moorish science, the Grand Sheik can let their hands go, and they can go on and demonstrate their life. But in the meantime, Mo, the answer to your question is, Timothy Dingley held my hand. He holds my hand even today, Mo. Because I followed his lesson. I listened to everything he said. I recalled all that he demonstrated can't vividly, can't verbally, but I have so many remembrance, you know. And what made it hold on even more is when in my home, I had all my stuff down in the basement, and my basement flooded. And man, they like a whole lot of my records, books, and papers and letters. Man, this stuff just blew my mind. I literally was beside me. And that made me become more determined to listen because, you know, I never knew whether I was going to get these things, ever get them back. And I have got that back with a loss and more. So I just listen more, you know, and this is what's kept me strong, you know, and being a brother. The Mo man teaches that when the sons and daughters, numbered about the table, sinneth them not out to slay those that they have not offended, nor to fall the victim thereof. So when brothers and sisters come around me, well, I'm going to tell them the truth, but I'm not going to tell it in a way that I'm being slanderous, that I'm being discriminatory, that I'm being persecuted. I'm going to simply tell the truth of the matter. And this has been my problem with Moors, because I'm not going to be a friend of yours by flattery. I'm going to tell the truth, man. Like my man used to say, even if it hurt, even if it kills him, he going to tell the truth. Because telling a lie only encourages karma. And I ain't had enough karmas, Mo. You know, so that's what, Mo. Just the memories of this man to this day. My father, you know, it says, honor your father and your mother. And I'm going to talk about him as long as I live. Then after, when he passed in 80, then there was the brother William Rice Bay, Grand Sheik William Rice Bay. He still lives today. He's in Baltimore, and he helped me a whole lot. Then I have the brother James Anderson Hill, Richmond, Virginia. He helped me a whole lot, you know. And so this is what has kept me strong, Mo. People, I go to them just like you call me. I call people, and we work things out, we talk things over, and we stay strong. A lot of things we disagree with, but we don't argue. We constructively criticize or give constructive criticism to what we don't agree with. We don't tear nobody down because your God, I don't see God same as you do. You know, you don't see God Allah same as I do. You know, so that makes a difference, man. That's pretty much how I'm on. I trust in Allah. I believe in Allah. I'm going, every breath I take is Allah. And I'm not going to hurt people. I may say some things or do some things, but I'm going to be apologetic for them all because I don't want to hurt people. That don't mean that I won't defend myself, because I will. That don't mean I won't defend my family, because I will. But I'm trusting in Allah to defend us all. Can I ask you a question, Sheik?
Islam. You know something, Sheik? That's how I think that's how Moorish Science really got me. You know, I mean, for real, Sheik, you know, like, you know, being in the, I always fight. And then Moorish Science taught me how to resolve matters. They taught me how to learn. They taught me how to learn from the things that the foes that came before me. It taught me it taught me that I was the one common denominator in every conflict that I ever found myself in. You know, I was the one that was there every time, every single time I was there. You know, so there had to be an issue, you know, inside of me. And more side, it pointed me within. It says that Allah is within. So we talked about earlier, you know, about how, you know, you can't enter into the kingdom of heaven because you are not willing to let go of the things of the world. And if you're not willing to let go of the things of the world, it ain't always about the money and the material things. It's these ideals that we pick up as we live our life wrong. We're not living our life accordingly. So therefore, we living our life wrong. We picking up all types of bad habits, all types of ideas. Our heart is fixed. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, we can't meet ourselves. You know, and I realized that was me. See. I'm like, man, listen, because I ain't lying when I say I got chased up into this demonstration. I got chased. Hey, they say the The dragon was chasing, man. It's like he was chasing that woman in the wilderness, but Allah gave me wings, you know. So he allows me to be able to evade until I got somewhere safe, Mo. But so for me, it's that part. See, it's that part. It's the part that allowed for me to be able to live without having to fight. It allows for me to be able to see, you know, my lessons and my blessings, to recognize them, you know, even when things is hard, you know, I can look up and be like, well, dang, you know what? That was made a lot easier just by me following these instructions. So
it's a blessing, man, when you submit your will to the will of Allah. You know, Jesus had to go in the wilderness 40 days and 40 nights. Moses went in there. Some of us have brothers and sisters have gone in the institution for a number of years. John the Baptist was 18 years in school. We have to go through something to empty out what it is that we have. We had all that material stuff that you talk about bringing into the temple. That stuff has to go. To come into the kingdom of heaven, all of that stuff has to go. There are two kingdom of heaven, Sheik. One of them there is the actual kingdom of heaven, for which is the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then there's the kingdom of heaven that has an address. At the bottom of your divine constitution and bylaw, most of them have an address. And when you come in there, you got to be pure of heart, Mo. You come in there if you have emptied your cup. If you have emptied your cup, man, you can come in there and fill your cup back up. But if you come in there, when my cup was empty. In 1968, man, my cup was empty. And this is one of the reasons why I was able to learn, because I didn't come in there with no pre-notions of anything. I came in here like a 8-year-old boy, ready to learn. Even though I thought I was a man, I mean, I had children, I had been married, I was married, all of these things. But when my cup was empty, Timothy Dingley took me and set me down, man, and set that altar of sacrifice on it, and made my heart, man, jump with joy. So we got to ask brothers and sisters, like these Moors that had this young people that's coming to Moorish Science, but they have to come through Masonry first. Empty that stuff, leave that stuff outside. You know, come on in the right way and get your degrees, your lessons, and everything that you need the right way. Because we have qualified sheiks to teach you what you need to know about Moorish Science Temple of America. I mean, we need to know about the word, the words themselves. The Moorish, that's a powerful lesson. Science, a powerful lesson. Temple, powerful lesson. Of America, powerful lesson. Our fairs, the flag, man, we talking so elementary about these things, Mo. We said we need to know what that means, how it is applied. Our eels, our names, our eels and bay. How did we arrive at? People looking at, one brother tell me not too long ago, he had a piece of paper wanted me to have, and I took it. The Canaanite God, he was a Canaanite God or something, and I sent him down quietly, brother. Listen to everything he had to say, and said, no, more, that's not Prophet Noble Drew Ali's interpretation. Same thing with our principles. You know, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. People are going to the dictionary, limiting the meaning, the definition of our principle, coming nowhere close to what our prophet meant when he said love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love is not measured out. Truth is something that has no reverse. It has no reverse. Truth is truth. Peace is what it is. Freedom and justice. All of these principles need to go in the cup, you know. And we talk about all these various chambers. We talk about the convention. We need to know this stuff, man, as opposed to keep reciting it and thinking that we sounding good about it, when we need to know the essence of it. Yeah, it's good. It sounds good. Semblance of truth, paired truth, but we need to know what it is that we are actually saying, because I'm hearing what you are actually saying when you say, Moorish Science Temple of America, Allah, Father, Universe, Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, love, that ain't more, that ain't praying. That is you trying to rush through something. That is not you praying to Allah humbly. You know, we need to know the lesson. When you said earlier, know thyself and thy Father, God, Allah, genealogy, Mo, you need to know that Adam, Seth, Enoch, Canaan, Mahalia, Jared, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, Shepherd, all the way up to Noble Drew Ali, man. You need to know Not just say it, but you actually need to know the genealogy of Jesus. You need to know the genealogy of Mohammed. We need to know Hagar, Sarah. We need to know about these women. And the one that we overlook all the time, and she's right before our face, is Ruth the Moabitess. These are the things that we need to know. And those orders are not going to teach. And if they do, they're not going to give you the elementary understanding of them. And you'll never be full, never be satisfied. And you'll always be searching in the wrong places. But come to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Come to the Moorish Science Temple of America and learn and hear the truth. First of all, hear the truth, and then come to the truth and learn who it is that you are. Because there's so much to this stuff. I'm sitting here and we've been sitting here as long as we have, and man, I'm trying to take off. I want to take off in the lessons that I know pertaining to everything that I've said. But of course, I know I got a virgin, or somewhat of a virgin audience, and I don't want to say things that confuse people. But I'm sitting here literally ready to travel, man. Just teach this stuff, go off, and the Moors will tell you, man, when I get in these various meetings, man, we travel. Like you talk about Elborg, lightning, the horse that carried Muhammad through the seventh, through the Jerusalem. I mean, that's how we got to travel, Sheik. That's how we need to travel in this book right here. And this is what we need to know. Not the elementary aspect of it. The prophet said, come out the elementary aspect of it. Let's go into the degrees. And when I say degrees, I'm talking about the measuring of your knowledge. That's what I'm talking about. That's what this man is talking about. Measuring your knowledge. Whether it's knowledge of a sheik, adab, minister, grand sheik, chairman, assistant grand sheik. That's what we're talking about. Not just elementary stuff. I'm sitting here, keep stumbling and bumbling and changing my thoughts, trying not to go, huh?
I just want to say something, man. I just want to say this. I want to say, because it's a terminology that we hear more say all the time. And I just want to say something. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Sheik. I know I'm not wrong about what I'm going to say. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong for saying it. Moors say all the time, we hear sheiks or these brothers, these Moors, they say.
Well, can you please speak up? Can you please speak up?
We hear these Moors. They say I went through the chambers. Such so and so took me through the chambers, and then I learned that there was a difference between going through the chambers and sitting in the chambers. And that's the problem.
Mo, I'm gonna say this like this, and I'm gonna seal up on it. Mo, the record reflect, out from your Sunday school come the guides of the nation. When they come out, the question is, where are they going?
That's right.
And when you find out where you're going, that question, you'll be able to say that question without a doubt or contradiction, because you will know where you're going. Everything is a step, Mo. Everything is an order. For you to do what you have to do, you need to know all that you need to know. And 2 hours in Sunday school is not going to teach it. 2 hours and give you the instruction. So you got to go somewhere else. And that's what it's all about. Then you're going to come out and you can be able to have the qualification to teach people, man, to guide people, to guide this organization, first of all, guide your family, secondly, and then have us look towards nationhood, thirdly, Mo. So, and a lot of brothers and sisters that say, and I hear it so much, man. I hear, I'm gonna add that, but I say, okay. I mean, I don't deny it, argue with them or anything, because I know they function according to their understand. But I also know brothers that are. I know men and women that are these, and they are that in action, in word, and in deed. You will never know that they are these if you don't go, if you don't sit where they sit. There are stages before you get to that point. But I understand that people come in the organization and overnight, they're governors, they are adept masters, they all of these wonderful titles, and they don't have the slightest idea about the affairs on their head. They don't have the slightest. I heard a brother not too long ago. I was with some brothers and they argued about the shade of skin. I mean, it blew my mind. You are who you saying that you are a governor or grand governor, and you got to argue about the issue of your skin. What the prophet said, shade of your skin is olive. Come on, man. You know. And I had to sit down and talk to him. We didn't ruffle no feathers or anything. But my point is that people are saying that these things and selfish people are telling them that these things, giving them these titles. But when they come among somebody that are these titles, man, you have no idea what they be thinking by you standing in their face, telling them that you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you got tennis shoes on with a pair of short pants and a black fez or something else, and arguing with your children or your wife. Come on, man. Come on. No. You know, you got to be qualified more. You know, you got to do, Michael said, what it is that you see. Jehovah has, what's the brother's name? I think it was Michael. What it is that you see. And he said, I see a plumb line. This is in the Piscean record. And Jehovah said, all of these will be who they are according to you. We are who we are according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, not according to anything else. And being who we are, it tells you in the records, you got to be qualified, you got to be worthy, you got to be constituted, you got to have love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice to have these type of degrees, man. Then you can say who you are. I mean, I have no problem, none whatsoever, with identifying myself in anything that I say that I am. I have no problem. And no degree, not near degree that I have I stolen? Have I betrayed anybody for them? Have I backslided? Have I said, Islam, and then went behind their back? I got my stuff the right way. I got my stuff like a doctor or a lawyer or attorney or electrician or guy that work with electricity. I got my stuff the way that they got theirs. They went through the various classes. They went through all that they had to go through and had those signatures put on their credential saying that this man is qualified to do this. That's what we're talking about. And Masonic give this, but it's like, it's not worth the paper it's written on more. It's not worth literally not worth the paper. They done took the lambskin out, and because a lot of people can't afford it, so they got to go on. They got to use the paper. And I'm not knocking it. Honestly, I'm not. But they're saying that they're these things, trying to impress you with they're having something. But in actuality, they don't. They can't explain to women hard time explaining the term. Oh man, you got so many situations of titles of definition of what the turban is. Come on, man. Because they haven't been taught. They wrap the turban and they look beautiful, and I'm not taking it from them. But when you ask them about it, they don't give you all that you think that they should know about what it is that they have on their head. There's something different about clothes that you wear, the colors and matching. But what we put on, our badges and sashes and girts, I don't wear these things because I don't want people around me wearing them that don't know what it is that they got. I don't want to influence them wearing. And when they do put it on, those that put it on around me, more they know what they're putting on and they know how to put it on. And this is what we're talking about. Being proficient in what it is that you have, what it is that you're demonstrating. Knowing, not assuming. I've seen people sashes, man, and they just badges and buttons, and they just, but there's nothing I can do. You know, there's nothing I can do, man. So more we just have to bear with the brothers and sisters that brothers are telling people that they are governors. Ain't been in the movement a year, 6 months, and you a grand governor or you a or adept. Come on, man. You know, and I want to say, I literally want to say it just like that. Come on, man. Come on out that understanding. How are you going to be something that these titles imply in 6 months? To be an adept, to be a grand sheik, to be a sheik even implies some virtues, man. It implies something that these titles imply noble, you know, a powerful mental man. And I'm not talking in terms of money or wealth. I'm talking in terms of statute. You know, I'm talking in terms of like the magistrate and subjects, magistrate and subject says about majestic. That's what I'm talking about, Mo. You know, and we need to, and you can't tell them that they're not because you think you're trying to take something from them. Yeah, I'm trying to take it from you, brother and sister, because I want to give you something. I want to let you know what it is that you have on your head, in your hand, even. That questionnaire, more than, the answers to the questionnaire, oh, man, they need to, who made you? The questions right there. The answers right there. Who made you? We know there's the question, then there's the answer. Now, how do we arrive at the answer? And when you arrive at the answer, you will have summoned all the knowledge that pertains to who made you. Then you go into how did you made? How were you made? What were you made? And it would answer so many questions. And then you would have to come up with a law. Then you say, who is Allah? Then you have to think. That's the question, who is Allah? Of course, we know the answer is the Father of the universe. How do we know? What universe are we talking about? And, you know, so being added up and all of these things, more people need to come in, just simply come into the knowledge, man. You know, come on to somebody that really knows and really don't want to rape your woman, don't want to fleece you, don't want to take your money. You need to go to somebody like that. You know, you got a beautiful wife and you want to keep her beautiful. You got a beautiful sister, you want to keep her beautiful. You don't want nobody that's going to abuse women. You don't want nobody that's going to rob you. That's what I'm talking. That's what you need to go to. Once you find that person, you got yourself a good teacher, Mo. And Allah will inspire both of you to learn and to teach. That's how that's done, Mo. But until you do, you will keep claiming that you are this and you are that and not knowing. And ready to fight and argue, for which is only right, that this is what you are. Because someone you love, someone you have affection for, someone you consider knowledgeable, told you that you were a grand governor or a supreme grand sheik or supreme grand sheik and chairman or adept or whatever the title is, you know. But in actuality, you know that you're not this thing. And we're just going to wait patiently till Allah unites us. You're going to wait patiently till Allah send you a teacher, an instructor in his lesson. And when he do, don't fight him, don't argue with him. Just work with him. Because when he comes, he don't want honor, fame. All he wants is to clear his karmas off of him, number one. And he know the best way to clear his karma is to teach about Noble Drew Ali. That his days may be longer, man. You know, you teach about Noble Drew Ali ain't gonna he's not gonna seal you up. He ain't gonna shut your mouth. He's gonna let you teach, especially if you are teaching people and you're teaching people, whether they comprehend or yield to it or not, you are doing your job. And that's what I'm talking about, Mo. So come and find out, brothers and sisters, just about being a Mason. Come and find out about adepts and grand sheiks and governors and supreme grand this and supreme grand that. And come and find out what it is that you got. I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't gonna fight you. I ain't gonna cuss you out. We both gonna learn. We both gonna learn.
Yes. Hey, you know what that was? See,
Question.
that was the point where the mic get dropped.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's where the mic get dropped.
Wow. Okay. Praise Allah, man.
That's where the mic get dropped. See. So,
Any more questions, man?
let me see. Let me pull up the old trusty. I got it right here.
And in the meantime, Mo, while you find looking, can I just ask the Moors to check out that Masonic Hall on State Street, right next to the Marriott? And for those that are local, come up to the Ancient Forefathers Day celebration, August the 30th, here in Baltimore. Thank you, Sheik.
Islam, Sheik. No questions.
Praise Allah, Mo. So with people that don't have questions, Mo, I'm hoping that they think that they don't know it all. I pray that I didn't offend them. Just wanted to demonstrate my portion of the law. If you have a question for Sheik Clarence Prather, we're not going to argue, fight. I'm going to answer the best of my ability. You know, and I may go around the barn to do it because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because some of us have so tender of feelings. So tender, you know, and I don't want to hurt them. Because I don't want you to be hurt, you know, about anything that I say, because it's true. But this is for uplifting our people, not for destroying them. Not for destroying them. All right, Sheik.
Islam, Sheik. So now this is the point where, you know, we say peace and love. As a matter of fact, I led us in prayer last time. Sheik, you gonna pray us out?
Say it again.
I say I need you to pray us out, Sheik.
Yes. And as I pray, Moses, I'm gonna ask you. I don't take the Moorish American prayer for granted. As a matter of fact, I have a proclamation. A proclamation came out in 2018 at the National Convention in October 2018 about that we pray at the hours of 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. every day, no matter what we're doing, where we at, because this is what we need, prayer. And it's the Moorish American prayer that we need, because Allah, He offers us guidance and protection in that prayer through a holy man that Allah will hear. So we're going to pray the Moorish American prayer, and I'm going to pray it slow so it can permeate through your body, so you can feel the effects of it, know the effects of it. You know, the Moorish American prayer is a wonderful thing to say in our hearts and minds, in our children's ears, those that have problems, ADD or whatever, any kind of problem. Pray that Moorish American prayer in the whisper. One man used to say whisper a prayer. Every day was a song, whisper a prayer. And we're going to pray the Moorish American prayer. I pray everyone is in tune with me, and we're about to pray on the count of 1. 3, 2, 1. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen. May Allah bless us all and love to each other more.
Islam, Sheik.
Islam, Sheik. Islam, Sheik. Thank you, Mo. Thank you very much for hosting this and allowing me to speak, Mo.
Islam. It ain't over. We'll be back.
Come on back, man.
Islam. Peace and love. Sheik.
Peace and love.
All right. Now that goes against everything that you've been taught your whole life. Everything you've been taught your whole life. You've been taught that you think with your mind. But in the Quran, it talks about what the mind does. Think about some of the things the Quran says about the mind. Jesus said, let us forget the body. He said, let us forget the flesh and go with mind. And go with mind. So therefore, he is identifying that the mind is a vehicle that we could use to transcend boundaries, that we could use to transcend time and space. So when the Prophet Muhammad, he talked about going from Mecca to Jerusalem and back to Mecca in one night, the night's journey. How did he travel? He said he traveled on an animal called Barak, and this animal in one stride, he moves as far as his eyes could see at the speed of thought. At the speed of thought, he was traveling with the mind. You understand what I'm saying? What else did he say about the mind? He said these tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind. So he's telling us that there is a workshop in the mind. And he's saying where we build up thought. He said where things are made of thought and where we build up character. Now he's telling us what we're supposed to be doing in the workshop, but that's not what you have to do because your mind is yours. You can change it when you want to.